y'all.
The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Biz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin flying round the field. Starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, blue jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot the death, oh yes, these are the sports podcasts live as a pro's corpse. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the boys ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season. The people starting five. We going in on three. Run the baseline, starting five. Get it. We got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three. Run the baseline, starting five. Get it. We got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign. I'm the illest cat stick. I got what you need.
We late. We was fucking up in the beginning. So we're gonna try to think we got what y'all need. We're gonna act like we got what y'all need. But nonetheless, we're gonna deliver as always each and every week because this is what y'all need. None of that made sense, yo. Y'all know who I am. No reason for the long talking. Let me go to my mans and them on this side.
You already know it's your boy, late night edition. Your boy Big O in the building. Yeah, we're about to chop it up, man. Get into a few things, man. It's gonna be a fun show, man. Dynamic duo right here.
For right now, hopefully the light-skinned wonder of the world, TJ, comes through. The homie Jamal is still out doing a lot of film work. Hopefully we get to see some of what comes out. We can't share the good news that the brother may have something coming to TV screens near you. But when that happens, everybody will know about it, man. But man, how has your indoctrination Sunday been, Big O?
It's been good, man. Been good. You know, my parents came in yesterday. You know, so I got to spend time with them. Had a fun-filled day yesterday. You know, my introduction to what do you call it? Psilocybin. Yeah, it was picked a weird day to do that, you know what I mean? And in front of my parents and shit, man. Me being as old as I am, man, I'm still hiding, you know what I mean? But it was crazy. It's crazy, man. It's everything you heard about it, you know, it's yeah. That's what it is, man. It's to pretty much break it down to you, the same feeling as an edible without the loopiness. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So all right, so not to simplify for everybody because you definitely got tongue twisted on the medical term for it. You had a little bit of shrooms yesterday.
Yes, I did.
You had a little bit of the shrooms yesterday. And you're saying that like it gets you there, but I guess to come down off the high, like what is it? It kind of leaves you mellow, you're saying it levels you out.
To basically tell it like it is, when you come down, you don't even know that you're down. You just realize, like, wait a minute, my mind is not working. You know, my mind is not on overdrive anymore. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So you don't even really feel you coming down. You know what I'm saying? You don't even realize, and crazy thing is you don't even realize on the way up that that's what's going on. You just notice yourself laughing, extra giggly, and everything you notice, it's like you're hypersensed. So it's hard to explain, man. But
That's
yeah,
what I've kind of heard about it. Like I mean, I'm the square who's never really done much in life. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things I have definitely yet to even try to do. So anybody with experience and wants to really come on and talk about the shit, like please let us know when y'all willing to come down and really break it down. But I've always heard about that medicine, that medication, and how it kind of is described as kind of like what you said. Like it's not something that like that just has you like either on a stream up or down. It's something that it could take you to another planet type of deal,
yeah,
but you kind of come back to Earth like newly enlightened in a way. Like that's kind of the best way that I could
yeah.
describe how that drug, that medicine works. And I don't want to call it a drug. Let's keep calling it a medicine because many people, cultures, belief systems use it as a form of like medication.
And as you said that, doctors, or you have these places now that are realizing that they can use this as a form of treatment for people who are veterans who have PTSD, who suffer from PTSD, severe PTSD. It helps, so we'll see where studies take us, man.
Word. Whether personal or medical, we'll see where these studies eventually take us.
Mhm.
We'll definitely see where these studies eventually take us. But yeah, man, yo, NBA playoffs real quick. Yo, fucking is it over for Miami?
I think so. I know. I flip flopped on this one a lot, man. I think so, man. Yeah, that Jokic guy and Jamal Murray is no punk, man. They something different, you know. Yeah,
Yeah, I had to look up when the game was because I didn't have it off the top of my dome. It's tomorrow, 8:30. Denver's up 3-1. Yo, real funny shit. The other day, this guy comes across the street to where I work, and he was like, "Man, like there's something about that Jokic dude, man. Like he needs to do more, man. Like you." And I had to look at him like, "Yo, are you crazy?" Like I
yeah.
said,
You watching the game?
Wait. I'm like, this dude is averaging damn near triple double the whole playoffs, and you gonna tell me he needs to do more? And then he was like, wait a second, my bad. I might have been talking about somebody else. You right. I'm like, I think the basketball conversation stopped right when he said that. And I said what I said to him, like, I think the whole basketball portion of whatever we were talking about stopped. That just told me, like, dude, you don't know what the fuck you're saying right now.
Yeah, yeah. I think to the average fan, because of the fact that he moves so slow, so deliberate. I shouldn't say slow, so deliberate. He's not athletic. You know what I'm saying? He's a student of the game. You're not gonna see no jumping out of the building.
He is
But then
athletic.
say again.
I just said this last week. Like, yo, we need to stop with this bullshit of he's not athletic. The man absolutely is athletic. To be able to do what he's doing at what could have, should have possibly been a third MVP in a row season, you
Should have
have to
been.
be very athletic to do what that dude does.
Okay, so when I say athletic, I'm
He
talking
may
about
not look physically gifted if you want to
right,
give him
right.
that, maybe.
You're not gonna see no Sports Center highlights of him jumping out the building.
Oh no,
You
no,
know,
no. Yeah.
yeah,
No, no, no. You're not gonna see that at all. And I think the world knows that. The world that's familiar with Jokic, I think they know that you're not gonna get him windmill dunking. You're going to get efficiency. you're going to get points, you're going to get rebounds, you're going to get assists, you're going to get, once again, and I'll repeat for the third week in a row, you can't stop them. You can only hope to contain them type play. And also, to what I've seen of these games thus far, what almost everybody in the world has been saying, but everybody started to hear it because Steve Kerr and Draymond Green said it on Draymond's show. You got to cut the head off the snake, and the snake is Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray.
But
Mhm.
even when Jamal Murray is, not having a moment at the time, Aaron Gordon steps up, everybody else steps up
Damn sure
and
did.
plays and remembers that it's a team game. Oh,
Hmm. Damn sure did. I mean, and again, man, like Jokic is again, like I said, he's a very smart basketball player. You have to watch the game to really appreciate, the stuff that he does on there.
mm-hmm.
All these, box scores isn't going to do it. Even box scores, you see a box score and he's averaging 28, pulling 14, 16 rebounds, 12 assists. Like, what more do you want from this guy? You know, this dude is putting up numbers that no one's ever seen in the finals. Let's talk about that. We've seen Bird, Magic, Curry, Durant, you know. So yeah, we this looks like a dynasty. This may just be the new dynasty. The road to the finals may have to go through Denver from now on instead of Golden State.
I'm not going that far just yet. Like, though they look very dominant, I'm not going to jump off the roof and say that. I'm also not going to do like what all these sports analysis on TV do every year. And once they get to the hot take portion of, so who do you think is the favorite of next year? Who do you think is the favorite of next year? And all they do is run to the teams with the big household names that consistently shit the bed year in and year out. So I'm not taking it away from what you just said. You could quite possibly be right. Some would say, let's hope that, Denver fans, of course, would love to see that. Let's hope that we become that new dynasty or three-peat team at least. You know what I'm saying? And it could very well happen. But I'm not, you know what? I'll save my preseason for the preseason of when the next season starts.
Because
I'm
I was
not,
about to ask you, like, who's getting written off, boy? That's what I want to know.
yeah, we're
You
not
know,
jumping out. We're not jumping out the window with the next season schedule ain't even out. Hot takes. We are, as my man said in our intro song, no longer a use for the four letters. Though I watch them every day. You don't need the four-letter network to tell you where to jump off the roof and how to jump off the roof.
or
You don't even
three-letter
have to
network.
go, or the three-letter network, just as bad in my opinion. But yeah, you don't need neither one of them to show you how to jump off the roof. You can watch them jump off the roof real early, nice and planted on the ground, and save
Hmm.
your opinions for later. And let them who get paid to jump off the roof each and every week and then act like they never said what they said when it's over. You know what I'm saying? That could
Shout
happen
out to
after
Kendrick
that.
Perkins. I ain't gonna say nothing else about him.
Nope, I fucks with Kendrick Perkins. I'm sorry. Everybody hates him. And guess what? He just sometimes shares opinions that we may not share, but I fuck with Kendrick Perkins. And especially too, I look at it like, yo, put some damn respect on his name. He played in the league. No matter what you can say about what he did in the league, he made it to the league and y'all didn't. He
That's a
made it
fact.
into the league, y'all didn't. And I'm not shooting at you, because there's mad heads that will tear Kendrick
Hmm.
Perkins apart all the time because he made a point in an opinion that you didn't like. And that shit just happens. But have y'all, some of y'all been in, and you know what? Let me get off of that because I hate when people try to say, like, yo, if you never played the game, you should shut the fuck up and yada, 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 yada. Chuck Daly never played the game and is an NBA Hall of Famer
Hall of Fame as a
and
coach.
and 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 championship winning coach. So I
Same as
digress.
Spoelstra.
But just think about It's literally just think before you speak. Some people would be saying some wild shit and literally just might have just started watching any sport. Just jump off the roof and it's let me contain myself because I feel like I'm just rambling. Let
Well,
me
listen. To piggyback off of what you're saying. So, I mean, you got homeboy, undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Never played football, but he dick ride Brady all the time, man. He hates you know LeBron just for being LeBron. And so yeah, pretty much the same shit you're saying.
Water Pistol Pete.
You know? Yes,
We talk about Water Pistol Pete. Well, since you decided to bring up Water Pistol Pete, do you think that he's part to blame for Shannon Sharp asking for the buyout and
I
leaving?
think he's about 95% of it, man. I
Yeah,
think he's about. I think he's yeah. I do. I think the two instances, and I could be wrong, because I'm not talking as a co-host right now. I'm talking as a fan. I think the Denny Hamlin tweet, and I think the Tom Brady conversation where he really tried to discredit, his counterpart Shannon Sharp, um, like he wasn't not only Hall of Famer, like he wasn't top five best tight ends to ever play the game, you know, and you never stepped foot on the field, So I think those two instances, from a fan's perspective, that had a lot to do with it.
I agree. I agree to a point. Like, yeah, I maybe he was just done. Maybe like he
Right,
started to see. Maybe he was just finished. Like, and he started to see the star power and the strength behind his club Shay Shay. Like he's had tons of. I mean, when you're famous, it's easy to get famous guests because famous guests are just gonna go with famous people just to be in the room, hobnob, whether they like each other or not. It
right,
just
correct,
becomes a good look for them instead of going to somebody to help boost and elevate them. It's no, let's just be with people that are on our level and hobnob, have the generic conversation, and yada yada yada. No disrespect to his show. I've only watched a couple episodes of people I wanted to hear from here and there. And some of the people that I did listen to, which I would have to go dig to even remember who I listened to, I've probably heard more in other videos. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? But nonetheless, there's no hate. Shannon Sharp does do a phenomenal job at what he does. I wasn't a fan of Undisputed, so I'm not gonna miss him on that because I still watch First Take. I still watch First Take. It's just to me, it's a better show. The main
yes,
host, which is Stephen A, accepts pushback. Like we was
yes.
just talking about how JJ Redick like gives him the business
Be
sometimes.
giving him the business, and he taking a stride, boy. That hey,
Yeah,
I like JJ Redick, man. I'm a fan of what he does on First Take. I'm a fan on his own podcast, and he be giving him the business, man. And Stephen A takes it in stride. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I totally agree, man. First Take is a better
yeah,
show than Undisputed.
you know.
Mm.
And it's funny, not to go back and forth about those two shows because we got our own. But everybody, a lot of people who hated Skip Bayless was happy when he left ESPN, but then ran over to Fox to watch him each and every day. Hypocritical? No, like I didn't get it. I didn't get it because I liked Skip Bayless on ESPN. I didn't mind him, though he was annoying about the Cowboys and he was annoying about Brady. And then though that combination there over on Fox, it just seemed fit because it's just America and America's golden
Right.
boy at quarterback. Like it just that style over there kind of fit. And it was
And
like,
it didn't
good,
it
y'all
didn't help
got
it
him.
didn't help. I'm sorry, it didn't help that Brady is going to that network now too. You know, It's like, yo, really, like that should really be your next host. I mean, your next co-host. You love him so much. It's perfect
That
fit.
that would have to be a show for the hub. Y'all know what hub we talking about. I'm not even gonna mention it. But that should be a show for the hub. And I kind of segued a little too fast because we're not gonna go into the Zion portion of this just yet. We're not gonna go there just yet. But when we just talking about America and Fox News and Tom Brady, apple pie, and bikinis with
Ra-
flapjacks in them, and
Raisins and
racist
potato salad.
and race. Oh, I thought you said racism potato salad, but you
Oh,
said raisins in the potato salad.
same
Raisins,
thing.
racism. Say yeah, it both goes sometimes, I guess. Um, we're looking at the game of golf, and it just feels a little funny to me. Oh, a lot of sometimes that crowd partakes in, watches, plays the game of golf. Uh, it is still one of those games that not many of our people partake in because it is a very expensive sport, very expensive hobby. Waiting for this truck to go by. But yeah, the game of golf, I mean, it is what it is. It's a game that I actually want to try. Everybody who plays it, everybody says golf is shit, right? But I'm sure, like me over the years, yeah, Tiger Woods would be the one person that got all of us into a little bit of something. We all kind of had somebody that we would follow by way of, as we said, we watch Sports Center, ESPN all the time. And so you're going to see golf highlights. But there would be players that we would pay attention to, learn what pars and birdies and eagles were and how the scores kept and all of that stuff, right? Like we paid attention to golf just a little bit. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, man. Let me tell you, I did do, I did go to Top Golf once, on a date, and I swear to you, man, I felt like I had DJ Khaled just sitting on one of my shoulders, telling me congratulations. I played myself, man, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing out there, and it is much more difficult than I gave it credit for. Now I'm not saying is it as difficult as hitting a round bat, against a round ball? No, it's not that difficult. Is it as difficult as kicking a ball down a field, a football field and a half? No, it's not that difficult. But yeah, you got to give it its just due, man. And if it wasn't for Tiger, we wouldn't have never. I believe we would never have watched it the way we did. The same as with Serena and Venus. We wouldn't have watched tennis like that. You
Tennis
know,
is a little tennis is a little different in my household because we watched tennis and I was a Pete Sampras guy. I was a Pete
what do you?
Sampras kind of guy. Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
tell you, I played tennis. I played tennis in the '80s before I moved to Queens. Yeah. So I remember Yannick Noah. I was too young for Arthur Ashe. I remember Yannick Noah, Boris Becker. Pete Sampras, Agassi. This is before the Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic rivalry.
What
So yeah, now as
was
I
it?
grow
Michael
older, I
Chen?
really follow
Who,
Michael Chen.
who
Yeah, Michael Chen. Yeah,
was it? Chen? Michael Chen? Yeah.
Michael Chen. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
watched up to
anyway,
Andy Roddick, man. After anything past these three guys, Andy Roddick before him, Andy Murray, I stopped watching.
man, listen. Well, I mean, we're segueing back to the golf. We're getting back to the golf. But
Yeah.
see, I mean, you just bringing it back to the whole Captain America. We need a hero. We need a savior. Andy Roddick and Andy Murray you could not tell these sports networks that they were not the next great white hope, and they always got their asses busted. They
Especially
would,
Andy Roddick, man. I mean, dude came in
yeah,
with a style. He had the baseball cap on. You just knew he was gonna kill it. And we got to the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals, like, yeah, that's the last stop for him. No,
were very second round sixer esque. But I keep mentioning things that are red, white, and blue. And golf is one of those red, white, and blue games that is actually, I mean, for the most part, it's not really a red, white, and blue game because it is one of the more global games out there.
yeah,
And when you got global sports, sometimes global money gets involved. And we all heard about the Live golf tour. There was big arguments, big beefs about this company coming along and this tour coming along because they were backed by Saudi money. And now, and when they came out, a lot of people were on the American high horse, but what about 9/11? Yada yada yada. We as black folks, we should know better as far as the, never forget. But y'all tell our people to forget all the time. Oh, it was the past. Oh, we shouldn't pay y'all back for the past, yada, yada, yada. But when Liv came around, because 9/11, condolences and rest in peace to everybody who lost their lives in that. I almost lost my uncle in that. My mother worked in the area. So I have a special place in
I
talking
lost a
about
cousin.
this shit. There you go. Condolences to you and the family on your cousin. We are, as New Yorkers, we are so connected to this in ways many of y'all might not understand nor will like about what we may be saying right now. But America loves money. America is a capitalist society. PGA Tour is also about capitalism too. And they decided to merge with Live and I believe another golf tour out there to try to become like a superpower to where all the people who were on the Live tour that when the PGA Tour was all yay, gun ho, America, America, we're not going to take none of them because they're backed by Saudi money. Guess who needed money all of a sudden?
Hmm. Hmm.
The PGA Tour.
How ironic is that? How
And
ironic
so
is
yeah,
that? Really?
and then the fact that they did it under the radar of all the players, and then you got people like Rory McIlroy upset, all these other players upset.
Tiger, let's not forget.
You know what I'm saying? These people are upset about this, but you know what they're gonna do each and every weekend, right? Oh,
Hmm.
they're gonna go out there. They're gonna go out there and get some of that. They're
Yeah,
gonna go out there and get some of that sand nigga
sucking
money.
it down, it, boy. Right? You want me to hit the ball? Where's the balls?
you know, but it's just the irony though, like of again, man. It's like we as our people, Colin Kaepernick can't kneel because fuck the black plight. Maybe you should behave more. Maybe you should do this, that, and the
Set up and
third.
dribble.
Shut up and dribble. Everything about anything that happens with black folks. And again, we're supposed to just forget about slavery. We're not supposed to bring up slavery. We're not supposed to bring up police brutality. We're not supposed to bring up none of that. We're just supposed to comply and get over it. Well, now you folks over there have to comply and get over it because they struck this deal behind your back. What you gonna do? How many? You know what? Oh, how many players you think are gonna back out of playing golf as a whole and retire because of this deal all of a sudden?
Bro, that is a shit ton of money. That Saudi money is a shit ton of money, man. Um, to change, not to change subject too much, but we're still talking about Saudi. Very few players, to answer your question. This dude, Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi is on the downside of his career. He's. I'm not saying he's past his prime. He's still effective on a pitch. He turned down 2 years, 1.6 billion Saudi money to go play for Inter Miami. right? Now, not many people are going to do that. I know I'm not going to do that. You're not going to do that,
Not at
but
all.
1.6 billion, 500 million a year. You, Phil Mickelson was one of the first ones to jump ship from PGA to go to Live. It's funny. It's funny. We haven't heard anything from him. Tiger was one of the
We
last
did.
ones adamant.
We,
Joe,
we
what?
did hear.
I would never. You know, Americans like to say never forget until it comes to money. Up until it comes to money, then listen, hey man, the past, get over it.
Right.
Oh,
Unless we talk about reparations and giving our people what
oh
we're
yeah,
rightfully
yeah,
owed. Then it's like,
yeah, yeah,
where they gonna get it from? Oh, they ain't got enough money for us. They ain't got enough money for everybody. Where they gonna get it from? Where they gonna get it from? Joe Biden comes up with $800 million to send to Ukraine.
Ukraine. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's funny, man. It's funny and it's not funny. I mean, Tiger not walking around with egg on his face. Rory McIlroy, he ain't saying much either. But I
Well, no,
guarantee you,
they got no. Don't get it twisted. I haven't heard much from Tiger, but Rory McIlroy has still been on his soapbox of being upset about it. A lot of them are now just more upset because how come you didn't talk to us? Phil
right?
Mickelson, Phil Mickelson definitely put out a tweet talking about how great a day this is. But it
Mm,
felt sarcastic, like, haha, guess who's back, bitches? That's kind of how
right,
the tweet felt.
right. Because it's funny. It's funny. This deal was one of the few deals that we heard about after it transpired. Like we didn't hear like, hey, PGA is thinking about doing, linking up with Liv. No, it was, oh yeah, by the way, PGA is doing da da da. Da. So it seemed like it was a lot of backdoor shit, a lot of uh under the table. It gives that vibe to me, you know.
Yeah, and if you think about a bunch of the shit that we was kind of rambling on in the beginning about, imagine if they did or somebody did release and announce that this was happening and it wasn't done yet. The PGA would have caught the hellstorm of all hellstorms to try to keep them away. And then you know what would possibly happen, because they would have been possibly hemorrhaging for money eventually. We could have been talking about there's either a buyout from somebody for the PGA or the PGA is no more because of this merger. But they're also, too, let's not get it twisted. They said Liv hasn't been making much money either off of this golf situation.
Mm.
So it was a power play for all three companies in this cipher to make this happen. But on the PGA end of things, because so many of their players were so adamant on not fucking with the Saudis, which Saudis, we're down to work with y'all. Just remember that. We got some conventions and stuff coming up. We're down to work with y'all. We'll take some
Yes,
of that
sir.
money. We're just not coming over there, and bringing people to get shit on and all that stuff. We're not about that.
I ain't going
But
that
you know
far.
what I'm saying? Yeah, not at all. We ain't going that far at all. But it's just, it's the PGA kind of had to take this tactic of kind of making it, no matter even if it looked underhanded or not, they had to take this underhanded tack to make this shit happen. Because if they didn't, this wouldn't have went through,
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
or it would have went through with far more scrutiny.
yeah.
Oh well,
Absolutely. On that.
but because we had more words to live by, Zion Williamson is the next contestant for the You Done Fucked Ups. Now, you were kind of sharing this in one of our group chats. Like, what's been the baseline of what's been going on with Zion?
And Zion is pretty much living his best life, man. He out there piping out all the porn stars that some of us some of us may or may not have been with. you know, on a late nights, late rainy nights. But yeah, he's out there actually living his best life, man. Filling up their bank accounts, all that. But his pull up for apparently his pull out game is, you know, not so much.
his
He ain't
pullout
supposed to be doing that.
his pullout game is weaker than his returning back to the court.
His pull out game
They're
is,
both pretty weak, but
yeah, yeah. We see why he's in no rush, man. I'll put it like that. You
word.
know, and ah,
Well, the funny again, you mentioned the corn and all that stuff, and we are men who have partaken in some corn, of course. It's it happens, whatever. But one person in particular is putting him on blast because he's allegedly has a woman pregnant, and that is a one Miss Mariah Mills. If y'all don't know that name by now, look her up.
plastic man or plastic woman.
hmm But the thing that first and foremost, it's like, okay, it's like you said, oh, all right. It's a young man living his life, doing what he want to do. If he wants to fly women out, pay them for whatever the case may be, it's his life. If these women want to accept it, it's their life. Not judging. I'm not judging fully.
Judgment free. Just Planet
But what
Fitness.
I am judging that just calls the question about some of the validity behind this story, which makes it all interesting and in some ways skeptical for me, is knowing that said porn star never once has any of us who partaken in it, and don't be ashamed, we know we see y'all. She has never done no black man on camera ever. So forget all the tweets that she's talking about. Forget this whole. Understand that allegedly Zion is paying, which there's tweets out there that she's exposed what he sent her, which was like 20 grand, yada yada yada. Who knows how legit this shit is? Number one, she ain't making herself look good by exposing the dude, which goes to
Right.
let her know anybody next after him, you can forget it, unless you're just going to work for one of the sites. But
Mm-hmm.
she don't do no black men on camera. That's what makes all. I don't care how many babies Zion got out there. It's the messenger over the message you're trying to send. And it's like, it really feels like some to me. I don't know what any other person thinks as far as this angle and all that stuff, but to me, we don't believe you. You need more people. I'm sorry.
That's a fact. Yo, listen.
Because you don't do Negroes on camera. And anybody can Google this. Put your incognito mode on when you do, and don't do it at work. Children, don't do this shit, period. If there happens to be a child, which there shouldn't be, because we always put this under the adult topics.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. I checked. Okay, she don't do. I have never, maybe Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no. So yes, the message, you have to check the messenger, and she's really going hard. Like, she has her feelings is hurt because this was her Willy Wonka golden ticket. Or
Yeah,
so she thought.
that's what it's
And,
reading
and
like.
so say again.
I said that's what it's reading like, because it's like, oh, you have a child out here, and now
Shit.
you're cutting off my bread and butter.
The way I see it, she should have played her card. If she had played her cards right and not said nothing, hey, I mean, this dude just signed a big contract. You know what I'm saying? You would have still got broke off, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, but you doing this, yeah, you're done. You're done. I mean,
Yeah.
and as far as Zion, this is not as let's get it right. Like this is not as bad as John Morant. We get it. You know what I'm saying? And it was by the way, they both played. They're both from the same place. Both played the same AAU team. Some of my South Carolina players, I don't know. Let me know something. But yeah,
It's them sticks. Is living in the sticks.
yeah, man. Zion got too much time on his hands, man.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah,
You
it's not to get all
could have met
TMZ.
somebody. You could have met somebody off of Home Depot. And jumped in their DM, man. Shout out to your boy Big Diesel. Pause.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's to me, I only brought it up because it helps us transition into these rules that you're supposed to teach your boys, your sons, if you have sons, even though we are sons to somebody. I'm a
Correct.
father of daughters, but I am a son to my parents who I was just with earlier today when we was at my brother's house. I am a son to somebody. Zion is a son to somebody.
It's a fact.
Number one, you got to play a little bit smarter than this. Number two, you are an NBA millionaire. You're a professional athlete who's a millionaire. Every professional athlete, in my opinion, should have Derek Jeter's assistant play manual on how to do this shit, son. Like literally, Derek Jeter is the Jay-Z. I show you how to do this, son. Like he should be the person that everybody reaches out to when
Yes.
you're trying to play around with women, men, anybody is in the public arena space,
Yes. Absolutely.
especially the corn stars. You gotta have a way to keep them if
Absolutely.
you want to succeed in what you're doing, and that's just you know, there's probably million or thousands of NBA players. Let's just keep it NBA who've done the same thing, but you've never heard any of the names mentioned.
This dude messy as hell, man. I mean, Derek Jeter. He was eligible bachelor for most of his baseball career, and his name was never in on social media. You know. So yeah,
Once in a blue, once in a blue,
once
you
yeah
catch
once the blue,
you
you may see something.
you may see a picture of the woman of the moment that he's claiming in public at that time, but you never heard no controversy. You never heard nothing bad.
Hmm.
He needs to write the Iceberg Slim or the or the what's his name, the fucking god damn, he's a freaking pastor now, but he needs to write the real pimp Bible on how to do this as a pro athlete. Bishop
Or
Measure Don Juan is who I'm thinking of. He needs to write
absolutely.
he and that should be like some like ancient scrolls only professional athlete type stuff. Like, like you play semi-pro, that shit don't count to you. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like you worth millions. It should be like it should be Herm Edwards. Think before you press send message.
Yep.
ESPN 30 for 30 broke. Derek Jeter's playbook. Playbook. That should be in a package to every
Yes.
professional male and female athlete out there. This is how you do
Yes.
it. This is how you conduct yourself in order to make it to where you want to go. With a little bit of Tim Duncan, this is how you deflect and talk trash in
Duncan.
a polite manner with efficient scoring. You know what I'm saying? Just to
Yo,
add a little bit more sauce on it.
could you imagine? Could you imagine Allen Iverson in the social media era? Like, you're like, Ja, take a seat. Take a seat. I got this.
Man, listen, there's just countless players. There's way. I mean, Allen Iverson almost feels light, and especially with what he went through back in his high school time. We've all seen his
Yeah,
documentary.
yeah,
What he went through in high school, I think he would have been a little bit smarter than what we're assuming in
true,
the social
true,
media era. The
true.
Ric Flair. Imagine Ric Flair and his whole
Yeah,
career in a social media era. That man would have been canceled in the fucking 60s and the 70s. Woo
yeah,
woo would not be a catchphrase. Chops would possibly not be as popular as they are. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking of a person like him. Like or think of Magic Johnson in the
yeah.
social media era. And we all understand what happened in early 90s. And we were there when we all saw the press conference. We all saw the iffy treatment from other players and things like that. Imagine if this was the social media era. Somebody would have been like
Oh, yeah.
breaking news a month before the interview happened, a month before the press conference. There
That's a
could
fact.
potentially be word that this man has, and you've been running up and down the court with him. You know, it's like they
Right.
just think
Yeah.
about it. Just think about shit
Yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying? Just think about shit
Yeah.
like that. Like, what was you gonna say? You sound like you
No,
about
no,
to say
I'm
something.
agreeing with you.
Like,
I'm agreeing with
it's
what you're
so
saying. Like, yo, that should have been. It would have been a whole different story.
a lot
You
of
know?
shit would be totally different stories, Joe. But Zion, do better. For how about get back on the court first? You want to play ball? Stop playing with your balls first.
And that'll make a lot of people forget, man. Like, success makes people forget the dumb shit that y'all do. You know.
Yeah, yeah. But I guess Zion is also help people forget that Mariah Mills don't do Negroes on camera. Mariah Mills does not do Negroes on camera. Like I said, you don't need to understand how we know. Just go look it up.
Go check,
Incognito
man.
mode.
Go check.
Make sure you're not at work. It's all not safe for work. It's all not safe for work. So that's why I can't go further on this because it's like, I'm sorry. The messenger is the absolute worst in this case. The messenger's the worst. The messenger is the worst. Who cares how much money he sent you? Since when were you doing Negroes? At what point, at what moment has this changed, Big O? I need to know. I don't need to know, to be honest with you. I don't need to know. Just curious. Just curious. But because Zion probably could use some teaching like this, Big O, he sent us this list to our group chat. And there was 19 things, but the 19th thing was incomplete. So there's 18 things listed here. Rules to teach your son. And I just wanted to have a conversation about it. Let's say we'll wait for Big O to come back. But as Big O, we wait for Big O to come back through. We'll go through this list and we're going to break down some of these and how truthful some of this is. Could we skip some of it? Whatever the case you feel. But it says never shake a man's hand sitting down. 2, don't enter a pool by the stairs. 3, the man at the barbecue grill is the closest thing to a king. 4, in a negotiation, never make the first offer. 5, request the late checkout. 6, when entrusted with a secret, keep it. 7, hold your heroes to a higher standard. 8, return a borrowed car with a full tank of gas. 9, play with passion or don't play at all. 10, when shaking hands, grip firmly and look them in the eye. We might come back to that one. 11, don't let a wishbone grow where a backbone should be. I can feel that. 12, if you need music on the beach, You're missing the point. I have a problem with that one. 13. Carry two handkerchiefs. The one in your back pocket is for you. The one in your breast pocket is for her. We're gonna come back to that one because there's a statement I'm gonna say behind that one. 14. You marry the girl, you marry her family. It's true. 15. Be like a duck. Remain calm on the surface and paddle like crazy underneath. 16. Experience the serenity of traveling alone. 17. Never be afraid to ask out the best looking girl in the room. 18. Never turn down a breath mint. That right there, yes, because you think your shit might be on point, yo, but your shit might be humming coming at you. So you know
Mm-hmm.
you had to get you. or
Right.
and if you need any more context clues about number 18, our boy MF Doom, Operation Lifesaver. Listen to it. But but number 12. Oh, and then I want you to go in on some. Well, first, actually, before we get into some of these, you brought this to us because
A lot of this stuff. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. Some of it I've heard before, and I practice, and I felt as though it may help someone out there. You know what I'm saying? Especially a young and impressionable young man. You know, us older folks, yeah, we pretty much we are who we are. But someone trying to find themselves, it may help you out. Like things like handshakes, proper handshakes. You'll be surprised the amount of people who don't give a proper handshake. Yo, to me, there's nothing worse than me shaking somebody's hand, and if it's just like wet like cooked spaghetti.
yeah, dogs. I fucking hate like when, especially of course, like we don't always just hey how you doing like no we're gonna go dap somebody up
Right.
and it's either you don't give that full grip right or you know like how you see how Europeans in soccer like when they're congratulating at the end of the game and all that and they give that just that half of and not finish the whole thing like that's
Uh,
the blackness in me says nah stop you gotta finish that not just
mhm.
this but the worst is when you go in, no matter how you shake the hand, like you said, and you said limp spaghetti, and it just be that flimsy, like fish hand shit. Like, son, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So I mean, if one person benefits from that, man, I mean, I'll be honest with you. The handkerchief. I don't wear suits often, but okay, that makes sense. You
That
know,
one
it's,
there is what I wanted to go to. Like you tried to just breeze past that one. I wanted to ask for number 13. How old was the person who wrote this list? Like this is like 1980 shit, and I'm specifically thinking of my father who would carry a handkerchief, old school, either what people
yeah,
use as gang rags now was just regular blow your nose handkerchiefs. And if just like drinking water out of a hose in the 80s, even if your dad's nose was blown in that shit, you needed to blow your nose. Take this and blow your nose in it. Just find a dry spot and blow your nose in that shit. But nobody does that no more. Like
yeah. That's
I
dated.
con- I constantly have a paper. I got a paper towel balled up in my pocket right now for that shit.
That's a fact. Yeah, I usually do too. That's
you
a
know,
fact.
you know what I'm saying? Like whether it's I just finished drying my hands, whatever the case may be. But I'm saving that joint for when I gotta blow my nose or something. Hey, that handkerchief shit is dead. You telling some of these freaking millennials and younger kids, Oh, I gotta reuse. Well, yeah, you all know the reuse, reduce, reuse, recycle generation. You better keep using that booger's choo, but nobody does that no more. So
Yo,
that's
yo,
some
so Dan, I'm sorry. So Dan, what about number three then?
number three. The man. That's another one. I kind of made a face when I was reading that because I mean, to be honest with you, we had a little barbecue 2 weeks ago right here in the front of my place, but my grandmother bought the grill, but I had to build the grill. I had
Uh
to build. I had to build the grill, then cook the food on said grill.
huh.
But it said the man at the barbecue grill is the closest thing to a king. No, unless it's their house, quote unquote. I.e., like we was at our brother's house. He did all the cooking. Nobody interrupted him because it was his turn to do all the cooking. And that's just your family dynamic. Where you got the uncle or the father or whatever, as they like to say, the stereotypical black dad uniform at the grill, a apron and some like
Mhm.
Birkenstock like sandals on, but non
What's the
Birkenstock.
the Jesus shoes?
You know what I'm saying? But nah, I don't. Nah, you respect the person at the grill because you want to make sure that you either get the first piece, the good piece, the non-burnt piece, or hope that they hold you down some shit. But, the king is thing is subjective. The king thing is subjective. I mean but now to you, number five, big O, request a late checkout. Like that's almost like that should be common practice for anybody that kind of gets out and about, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I couldn't tell last time I checked out at no 11 o'clock, man. Nah,
It
yeah,
should be that way,
always like
but
check out.
I know. I mean, it should be that way, but sometimes it just be like, yo, just ready to go, and whatever the checkout is, peace out, whatever. We'll be up and ready.
Oh well, shit. Well, you can still leave at whatever time you want to leave. You can still leave in the morning, but if you request a late checkout, you don't feel like you're pressed.
Right.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And that's the key to that. Now, number six is big for me. When entrusted with a secret, keep it. I told somebody the other day, like I'm the person that like anything that I'm asked not to tell, it dies right there with me.
Yes, absolutely. I'm a fucking
It,
vault, man.
it should be that way. There's certain things that it's like, you can talk to other people, but once it's like, this stays right here, it stays right here and it dies right there. That should be a given for every person. But some
Certain
people
certain
don't realize.
certain things you hear, man. It stays right here, quiet as kept.
Word.
Whatever. Yo, I say
Bet-
less
bet- Between me and you,
between me and you.
yep, shit like that. I ain't saying nothing what my brother JP said, but that's a big one. Every time I haven't spoken to him in a minute, but every time I spoke is between me and you. I'm like JP, nobody knows you, so it's not. It's always gonna be between me and you. But I fuck with my boy like that, but it used to be like that all the time. Like nobody knows you, so it's always gonna be between me and you. But when shaking
Yo, what
hands,
about number seven? I'm sorry. What about number seven? How do you
no,
feel about
all
number
good.
seven?
Hold your heroes to a higher standard. I agree to a point. I think hold yourself to a higher standard first before worrying about what your hero or the next person is doing. Keep yourself to a higher standard first. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Whatever the case is that you feel you need to elevate yourself on. Like I know where I suck. I do. I struggle with getting out of where I suck. Do I try to continue to do better? Absolutely. But I still recognize where I suck. It's trying to keep
right.
myself to some level of standard and try to do better. There's always a way to do better. There's always more, opportunities to do better. So I would say personally hold yourself over
Mm.
your heroes to a higher standard. But how
Hey,
about
good.
how about to you? How about to you? I'm a let's go with the kind of the sports analogy ish one. Play with passion or don't play at all.
Which one is that? Which one is play?
Number
Okay, play with
nine.
number 9. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Because especially when it comes to sports, people always like to talk about legacy, things of that nature. People, it's what I noticed though. Like, okay, with Shaq, right? For example, people remember his Laker days. I think more than anything, so they don't really remember the Boston Celtic days. So he gets away with it, right? But I think people with Jordan, man, I think that disparity is a little bit closer. Maybe because he only played with two teams. I mean, because I remember the Wizards days, man, when he was averaging when he was only doing 20. Should he have retired? Should he have played for the Wizards at all? I don't think so.
I think he did that because one, obviously the Bulls probably didn't want him back. They felt like he was done. Number two, I guess because he might have heard the cries of, well, we never seen Michael Jordan outside of the Bulls, outside of Phil Jackson, yada, yada, yada. Number three, because competitive spirit, I understand how it is in a way of, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet, and that's real. That's real. Like I started playing football in pads in my adulthood, and I broke my leg first game out.
Damn.
I was back playing football the next year after because I wasn't done. I wasn't done. I played all right. I played compensating my injury the first year. Then after that, I was back to normal, but my team sucked. Like we sucked
Right,
as a
right,
team overall, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't done at the time. So, I get it. And when I was done, I was tired of losing things like that. Is play with passion or don't play at all. Like every time we had a travel game, right? I always took it upon myself to think of it as a business trip. Get the mission complete first, then worry about the party after. The niggas I played with, they were more concerned with, yo, what are we doing out there? Oh yeah, we got a game, but what are we doing out there? Play
right.
with passion or don't play at all. Plain and simple. Plain and
Plain and
simple.
simple.
But number
You know,
12, I'm gonna throw at you too. If you need music on the beach, you're missing the point. This one
I
I disagree with.
I disagree too. I disagree too. Yo, I'm miserable. I'm miserable without music on the beach, man.
Like you need
I'm looking at my
something.
watch. I'm like, yo, how long we gonna be out here?
Exactly. Like, yo, this hand is uncomfortable. Yo, fuck these ocean. All right, these ocean sounds is cool, but nah, it's more than that. I don't want to just hear
Word.
the Earth's rotation.
Yo, I'm
It's more
complaining
than
the
that.
whole time we out there, man.
Like, yo, when we going home, yo, we done yet? All right, you baked enough? Like, damn, you burned. You not, yo, come on, go home, get in the shower. You could take that shower, try to get some of it off, yo. Like, yeah, nah, the beach to me is overrated.
I'll be honest with you, man. Yo, I've been out to the beach. Yo, I had my speaker out there. Yo, dead ass. I've been out there. There've been times I've been out there a whole work day from fucking 9 to 5. Man, I'm out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's relaxing. It's all of that. But I need my music, man. I
Son,
need I need my I need my music.
man, listen. Last time I was in Puerto Rico, I dare somebody tell some of these Puerto Ricans on the beaches out there, if you need music, motherfucker, they have fucking full sound systems out there.
Oh, I've been out
You
there, man.
you need the music. You don't have to. The
Yeah,
beauty of that is you don't have to bring your own. Like,
yeah, yeah.
it's different. It's different. It's a vibe setter. It could be a tone setter. Fuck that. Bring your music. Headphones and that case may be. Don't listen
Like
to
you
this
said, man.
on that one. But
Like
one,
you said, last time I was out there, last time I was out Puerto Rico, yo, dude had full blown speaker, tower speaker, yo. I'm like, yo,
yeah,
okay, we partying, okay.
I seen the whole fucking wall of speakers on the back of a pickup truck that time I was out there. That's what I'm
Yep.
talking about. Like, which brings me to, and I'm sorry, I'll go one more, and you could give me another one too. But like, don't enter a pool by the stairs. Fuck you. What happens? What happens? First off, everybody talks shit about in ground, above ground. What happens when you are trying to be Mr. Hot Shit and you're jumping off the edge of the pool, cannonballing, but you're running? Foot, straight Looney Tune. And you have skyrocketed because you slipped on the number six that for 6 foot that just happens to be on a shiny piece of tile, and your ass is up in the air, floating, wobbling because you were trying to play Mr. Cool. Or when that damn water is too damn cold, we as a man, y'all know what we need to protect at all times. So, that shit is bullshit.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that one, man. Yeah. And again, whoever did this list is dated, and you could tell. It's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I maybe it's because I can't swim as well as other people, man. I don't swim like a fish. Yeah, what I'm saying,
I
I
get
swim better than a rock, but not as good as a fish.
it. Said I swim better than a rock. Well, I grew up swimming, so there's no issue. It's, black folks can
Yeah, man.
and will get their hair wet. But what's the next one you wanna go over?
You
I
married a
think we
girl, you
covered
marry a
most of
family.
it. This is facts. This is facts, and I can tell you this from before we got married. Who was the one person who was driving everybody around, or whenever we went out to go shopping, to hang out somewhere, whatever. A lot of the times it used to be the Palisades Mall. If we going. And who was responsible for the driving? So this is true. Unless
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have, but it's no, it's true to a point. It's when you have a good family setup like how we have it, to where they're not intrusive, because you got
mm,
some of them crazy ass families out there where it's very intrusive. Like I seen some shit. It was a TV series at that where two sisters who were like damn near attached at the hip, like they were so attached that like it caused one sister to end up getting a divorce because the dude couldn't take it no more. That you're
wow,
listening to every little word that the sister says and taking it as law because yeah, y'all grew up and know each other your whole lives, over the fact that you chose to marry me because you love me.
right,
And he was still around because they had a kid. So there's great dynamic. You don't mind that you married that family because you would do for
right,
them as you would do for your own flesh and blood that you grew up with. But when you have some families that are super intrusive, when you got families that like the mom or the dad is too overbearing in the situation, like, nah, I'm not here for you, and you don't got to be involved in this.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
But,
I'll be honest with you, man. I've been divorced. I've been divorced. Shit. What are we talking now? 3, 4, maybe 5 years. And her mom's her daughter. I mean, I still consider my stepdaughter. Yo, whatever they need to this day. You know what I'm
mm-hmm,
saying? I'm on my way. Even though they out in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? I took that. I remember. I remember. When we first started dealing with each other, she, my ex-wife, had told me that it's a package, and I took it to heart. To this day.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I still love her family to this day. I don't have any ill will against her family. Me and her family, I think we got along. My part, we did.
Right,
So
right. It's just y'all two didn't work out, and
right, just
some
we didn't
some
work out.
and sometimes it's not even strong enough. Some people ain't mentally strong enough there to even be able to continue to deal with situation like that, to be able to still be like, you're not going to communicate with them like every fucking month, every
No,
other
no, no.
day, every week
Yeah,
or some
yeah,
shit. But it's like, yo, what's up, can you do you mind, there's, and of course there's boundaries with that. Like, maybe you'll give a little bit of money if you got it. Sometimes,
mhm,
you know what, you can use my physical labor for some shit, or
right,
or emotional support. You could go,
right.
yeah, there's levels to it. Look,
There's levels.
fortunately,
There's levels to it. Correct.
yeah, there's levels. There's multiple levels to this shit, man. And yeah, like I said, I've had the roller coasters with my wife's side early in I was about to say early in the career, but early in the relationship. But they, I love them to death, with the exception
Mhm.
of the ones, we told you who we cut off.
Right, right, right.
But you know what I'm saying. But other than that, like, immediate, like, nah, that we call them family for a reason.
Facts.
For me, until you fuck me over, plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? That's just
Facts.
how I always operate. Um, which kind of goes in with that, don't let a wishbone grow where a backbone should be. Well, yeah, of course, you got to stand on your own one too, and sometimes it's okay to be flexible. It's okay to be flexible, but sometimes you gotta remember. Sometimes you gotta remind people, yo, I'm still me. I'm
Yeah.
still a man. I'm still a woman. Whatever the case, I'm still a they them. Whatever, like,
Right, right.
you know,
Yeah.
you know.
Man, this Rich right here, man. I would love to hear what my brothers had to say about this shit, boy.
Yeah, this. I mean,
Mm,
this list actually, as we talked about it. You know what? Like, this list is pretty valid. We could probably
mhm.
take out about five, maybe six things. Definitely five. As I look back on that fucking 1980s carry two handkerchief shit. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Like the king is on the grill type shit. We're
Yeah.
hu- we're humans just like each other. I'm gonna respect you for who you are. You ain't There ain't no fucking kings out here. We don't even respect the king of England over here. That's just a made up title
Exactly.
that we had nothing to do with. We didn't get to decide on that. You know what I'm saying? Fucking
Right.
play with passion or don't play at all. That's words to live by, because that's how you get hurt. I'm not saying that's how I
Yeah.
got hurt. I s-
Don't half
that
step, man.
that's yeah, yeah. Big Daddy Kane taught y'all well if you listen. But yeah, there's a lot of shit. I mean, this wasn't bad. The only thing I could, it depends on who you shaking hands with. Was we talked about the wet fish? Don't give me limp fist. Don't give me limp pause. Don't give me limp dap, and then stare me dead in the eyes. That's pause worthy. That's pause
Word.
worthy.
Facts. Facts.
Who, who was just laughing? I heard extra laughs at that.
Oh no, my niece is outside. My niece is outside. Was laughing at some
Oh,
shit.
because that was fucking perfect timing, though.
Your word.
that shit, that shit was perfect timing, man. That shit was perfect timing. But yeah, nah, good job, good shit with this list, yo. This was valid. This was definitely valid. Oh, this list was, you
Yes,
know,
sir. Yes,
and
sir.
if you didn't discover, I realized mad late. Oh shit, let me brighten my screen. That's a natural freaking light back on my face, but whatever. A nice little hour 15. Oh, this was dope.
Yes,
This was a
yes.
good conversation. We
We
did a
did it.
lot of we did a lot of rambling that segued everything perfectly, though. it
It worked out, man. It
did,
worked
it
out.
did, it did. But next week, man, we'll see what we got. As always, hopefully we'll be talking about new NBA champion Denver Nuggets. Just because it's fuck the Heat, Knicks fans over here. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
But definitely it's fuck the Heat. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
But
Fuck the heat, man.
we definitely want to hear new NBA champion Denver Nuggets. We'll see what else the world's got in store for us. Maybe we can find another list like this or something out there,
I'll be
man.
on the
So
lookout, man. I'm gonna be on the lookout for it.
word
Right?
up.
Because
Hopefully all the brothers is back. TJ probably,
yes, sir.
he was out there, you know, the house Negro colored brother was out there doing field work today. So he's probably a little tired. Jamal was out there holding the camera. Definitely not for a Mariah Mills shoot. You know what I'm saying? So
You know, I'm
hope-
gonna tell you, man. I'm just put it out there, man. I might just have to go ahead and look tonight again, see if I see any more Mills stuff. You know what I mean? You know, for educational purposes only, of
And with
course.
that being said, use the code. Go to hooksrub.com. No, I'm not. No, even find. Use the code starting5 hooksrub.com for 20% off your
So
order of hooks, rubs, and spices. You know,
since the season,
whether you choose to use it on your meats or not, make sure you use hooks.
yo,
For real, for real. With that being
yo,
said, got some shit to do. I gotta go do laundry. Peace.
peace.